Alright, well, I've got to do the video with my cell phone today. I think I left my camera either at my house or at my job over the weekend charging up or something. Venetians vote. 89% voted for basically to secede away from Rome, Italy. They want their own country, they want their own government, they don't want any part of that system. Plain and simple. And 89% of these Venetians voted in favor of that measure. And are withholding tax payments to Rome. No taxes are going to Rome, period. If that is not a sign of waking up and putting the powers that be and their rotten minions, who are all the ones that are in power in government anyways, those are the rotten minions, on notice, I don't think anything is. We just had Crimea out of the Ukraine, which is a huge portion of the people, population-wise, of the Ukraine, say, screw you guys, we want to go with Russia. And that was a 95% vote, 95.5%, I believe. Now we have the Venetians saying to Italy, Rome, we're not paying you taxes anymore, pretty much effective immediately. We just had a vote today. 89% of us say, screw you guys, we want our own government, we want our own system, you guys are too corrupt, you're taxing the hell out of us, austerity measures, etc., etc. They're naming all of this. And that's why we are getting away from you, and we aren't sending you a penny in taxes effective immediately. What is a country to do? All a country can say like that, those in power, is what I'm really meaning to say, not necessarily the country, but those in power. Hey, this is a violation of law, you have to vote. You got to vote us in and out. You can't just, disassemble the part of the country and reassemble it as some other new nation with a new government. No, that's not lawful. Well, wait a minute. How did you become Italy to begin with? How did Rome become Rome to begin with? The people stood up, threw out the old corrupt politicians, the old corrupt system, said the same damn thing hundreds of years ago, and did the same thing. After all, this is a nation, all of us actually, not just America, when I say this is a nation, all of these nations are nations of the people. Without the people, you have nothing. The government is outnumbered by the people so many to one. I don't even know what the real statistic is. I'm not talking about the person who works at the driver's license office being counted as a government worker. I'm talking about the politicians, the lawmakers as they call them, the Congress, the Senate, the President, even the judicial branch. Right, throw the Supreme Court in there. And again, all other countries have similar forms of government, same branches roughly. They may call them prime ministers, whatever. That's the president of their country. So the bottom line is that people are starting to say, we've had enough. We're not taking it anymore. We've asked you. We've voted in new parties, and the old Berlusconi, or whatever his name is, he left. Now they want him back. Don't want him back. He's corrupt. He got charged with, fraud and stuff, whatever it was. So now the Labor Party or the People's Party, I have all these nonsense names, are trying to, now they've got control. And this is, when I see this type of news, not the video I'm doing, but news of the such and such party stood down and they didn't have the number, so now a new party is being formed, a vote of confidence is going to happen, in some European Union state, pick one, which, in other words, one of those countries. And then someone else, some other group's in power. Okay, we had a vote of confidence, fail from this group, now this group's coming into power, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, what changed? For the people, for the austerity measures, for the rotten taxation that these people are putting on top of you. Incredible high electric bills, incredible high water bills, because they've sold those companies, privatization, then sold them so that they could help pay back these loans from the IMF that they didn't want in the first place, that were forced down their throats. When I see that, it just reminds me of mobster activity. Mob group A, Mafia A, has power. People aren't too happy with them. They've gotten so corrupt. It's so obvious. People can't take it anymore. Now there's going to be another vote for Mafia Party B. Not a good group of people, B, but another mafia, another mobster group taking over. Oh, okay. I wonder what change we're going to see. Oh, nothing. The same thing keeps happening. Same austerity measures, same taxation without representation, etc. Higher electric bills, higher water bills, higher gas bills, higher everything. And they tell you, shut up, suck it up. You spent more than you could afford, and now it's time to pay. No. I did not spend more than I can afford. You politicians spent more than you could afford. And the ones before you spent more than they can afford of our money. So this is what the people are saying. You can have that system, you can keep it, and you can put austerity measures on everybody. Matter of fact, double them. Triple them. Double and triple the taxes. It won't matter because we're not sending Rome a cent in taxes. We're creating our new government here, effective very shortly. Go screw yourself. That's pretty much it. So, it's news like this that I like seeing. Same with Crimea over in the Ukraine. Matter of fact, I'm going to point the phone down for a second, see if this thing keeps recording or not. Okay, so what I was looking for, my phone did cut out, was Scotland is doing something similar. They're trying to get their independence. So the article went on to talk about how now the Venetians from Italy are following in Scotland's steps in hopes of regaining their independence, is how the story went. And 89% vote in favor. That's all you have to do as a people. You tell the government you are now irrelevant. We're starting our own government. We're not paying you any more taxes. And you watch how fast the government stands there in shock and awe. Right? Remember that Operation Shock and Awe in Iraq? This would be Operation Shock and Awe times 1,000 to the government, who'd be left standing. Oh my God, all we have left is this little piece of thing called Washington, D.C. It's the only thing we can tax. The rest of the states have just told us to go pound sand. Yeah, pretty much. You don't have to fire a shot, right? You don't have to start a violent revolution. You don't have to do the things that history show over and over and over. Now, what has to happen, though, is, for example, in Italy's case, with the Venetians wanting to get out of there and start their own country, their own, system, is that they have to be able to do that without the government sending in their stormtroopers and physically removing and harming whatever they have to do, the people who want to form this new government. So, as long as that happens, that's how you do it. That's how you get it done. The issue is going to be when the government says, no, this is illegal activity, you're going to be, thrown in prison, we're going to send the, I don't know what Italy has, if they have a National Guard or, what, the army, whatever they have, they're going to send to deal with this. The problem is going to be when you have a huge majority of the population that outnumbers that army, that National Guard, that whatever. They can want all they want. They can want and hope that they're going to get things under control all they want. It'll never happen when you have the numbers. It will never happen. And again, you don't have to get violent. You don't have to pick up a gun. You don't have to really fight like they did in the past. A lot of times the reasons in the past, of history repeating itself in scenarios like this, is because the ruling party, king, whatever, says, no, I like having this power and I need your tax money, so no, you can't secede away from me and my country, so I'm sending off the guards after you and squashing that before it even gets started. Again, today is a little different because we have the internet, we have instant transfer of information, literally instantly, whether it's through your phone, the internet, email, you know what I mean? So, all that does is help people stay awake, and whereas before, maybe a lot of the population didn't know or even care about joining any kind of revolution or whatever, which is why they said only 2 or 3% of the population ever got involved back then. Well, 2 or 3% of this population is not a lot of people, right? But nowadays, how many people know about what's going on, know what austerity measures are, know what high tax rates are, know what all these things and fees and things we're getting hit with left and right, high price of things, food and everything's going back up, gas is going back up, right? Everybody can see these things. And you can go right on Facebook, you can go on YouTube, you can go on all these different venues or avenues to find information, to talk about things. And even if you don't care or don't want to know about it, someone in your little group has probably mentioned it a time or two, so now you're aware of it. So when this big thing comes out, hey, we're getting away from Rome, Italy, we're starting our own country, almost everybody knows and has voted in favor of it instantly, 90%. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of revolutionary change we need. No violence at all, no shooting. You just make the government, those in charge of the government, the rotten mafia members, so to speak, irrelevant. My hat's off to you people in Italy. I can't wait to see how this ends. Maybe, just maybe one day, that'll happen here in America where it's really needed the most. Because not only are we hurting ourselves here like these other countries are, but we hurt other people around the world when we go and invade and pretend we're here to help you people, and then we leave them with nothing but death and destruction and lots of rebuilding to do that we don't help out. But we do all of a sudden start funding through foreign aid, as we like to call it, the new government, who is then basically taking that money, pocketing it, doing nothing for the country with it, because that's their payoff for going and being put in power by the Western world, which is us. So when that happens to America, I hate to say this, but you're probably going to see a massive change for good across the world. Most people hearing now, oh, come on, this is America, man. This is the land of the free, home of the brave. This is the democracy of all democracies. No, you've been led to believe that it is. Look no further than our own system here. Everybody appoints everybody else. They look the other way when they're in trouble. They don't prosecute themselves. They're club members. No one gets in trouble. But if you, the little small business guy, step out of line for 1 second, the IRS will kick your door down faster than you can blink your eye because you made a mistake on your tax return. And they thought you were trying to cheat them. Or maybe you own a small farm, organic farm, and you're not doing things the way the FDA thinks you should be doing them. They think you should be doing it like a massive, 20,000 square foot factory farm system. No, this is an organic farm where we graze, the cows graze and chickens scratch the poop. No, that's unsanitary. We can't have that, says the FDA. Well, it's been that way for thousands of years. So we're not a huge farm, we're a small farm. Nope, you got to comply or we'll come kick your door down, right? So if you think that I'm talking crap right now, go look these things up. You'll see that this is happening right here in America. So the sooner we secede away from the Washington, D.C. government and start our own government, whether it's a new Florida government, new whatever, become some kind of new entity, whatever is needed has to happen. Because this system ain't working. Take care.